And I can actually double check that too. No. That's good.
Well, I live on the Upper East Side, close to Central Park, but like near East Harlem. And Kim is moving, I think, to the West Side. So the park will be in between us. But my school is on the West Side. But Kim also lives in New Jersey. So I don't go to Jersey that much, unless it's the amateur team East, and chess gets me there. So. That's in Cherry Hill. So that's kind of, they've had it there maybe like 10 years ago, I think. Time flies, it goes really fast. So
I actually think it went pretty well. I think we sat there for 5.5 hours on Saturday, and then 6.5 hours on Sunday, with only one break each day. But I thought it was interesting and went surprisingly well. Little fidgety at times, but managed to power through.
Kind of a lot. I'm on the FIDE events, which is FIDE rulings with a lot of arbiters on. And I also am on clubs committee. I'm on the awards committee, which used to be the Hall of Fame, which sort of still is. I'm really honored to be on that. And I really think I've been able to organize that committee so that people who have done tremendous work don't get left out. Because sometimes, we're 50, a lot of states, we can easily forget. I'm also on the Scholastic Committee, but I might be off that. So what else? I think that's it. I'm sure I'm forgetting. Oh, wait, no, there is one more. The Professional Players Fund. And I put various proposals or potential ADMs for that committee, but they'll have to wait for next year. So I'm always ruffling feathers on that. So what?
Yeah.
I'm not on the women's committee. Took a break.
Does it all.
Yeah, I took a break instead, which was absolutely probably really good for me. And I'm not sure maybe they don't need a committee anymore. They have someone who's taking on the role and of promoting women's chess 24/7, Jennifer Rohde, and that's a very amazing job to have, and I think she's doing great. Lots of last December, November, we went to London to the London Classic. They always have a great conference there, educational conference, and this year it was all about women's chess. And I was very honored to chair one of the committees. And Maureen Grimard was there, and so was Kimberly, and so was Carol Meyer. And we were a good delegation representing what the U.S. has done in the last 5 years. And I think the U.S. has really started the ball rolling all over the world, especially in Europe. They've realized now that they need to take surveys. They need to find out what's happening in the EU, what each country does and where they need help. And that's really the first steps, what you have to do. Well, I've been an arbiter since, it's going to sound really old, 1984. Mm-hmm. So I think I was 19 when I got the title, and I think I had done like 100 norms. So I've done what was called interzonals and semi-final candidates. I think I was 18 when I did that. And I was able to stay awake because it was on a stage and it was dark and it was kind of hard. I've done Olympiads. Other famous events, I did Phillips and Drew. I did another event called Lloyd's Bank, many years at that. I've done World Opens. I think it's a really long list. I've also been an organizer, and I was director of operations for the PCA, and one of my favorite events was in 1994, where we had a tournament for qualifier, and we had 77, I think, or 70 GMs and maybe 7 IMs, and it was the biggest, strongest tournament on U.S. soil, and that was held at the Winter Garden, which unfortunately had to be rebuilt after 9/11, and that was held over a weekend in the middle of a shopping mall. So that was looking out onto the Statue of Liberty. So that was kind of an amazing venue. The other one was the World Championship in the World Trade at the observation deck. That was a really learning experience, how to publicize chess within a city, how to get the mayor's office involved, how to make it, like everybody involved in chess.
Yeah, and that's something we learned to be very, very important, right? How to publicize chess. And so you guys have a lot of experience, both of you, right? To publicize, and we see you at the booths of nationals, right? Can you tell a little bit about that experience when you visit tournaments, and what do you do there? What kind of players you are getting at your booth, and what's your pitch to get more girls to chess?
Well, typically when I attend the National Scholastic events and we set up the girls' club rooms, we have the girls come in. We have various activities for them to do. We get their name, their contact information. We have personalized, like little pencils we hand out, erasers, and we just try to make sure that we, let the girls know that we are behind them, and we tell the girls what our aim is, and that's to promote girls playing chess. Mm-hmm. And I think we've been really successful. We're actually, I think, on quite a roll until, unfortunately, the pandemic hit, and so now we're on kind of a hiatus. But I'm really, really hoping that as soon as the pandemic is over, that we can kind of get back into the swing of things, because I think our goal is to promote more girls playing chess, and Sophia's been doing that for many, many years, but also now having more and more girls tournaments helps to do that. So I think the marketing it just kind of feeds off itself. I think the more we do, the better we get at it, and it's just being inclusive of girls. I think that's the most important thing. And I also think too that the parents realize too that their girls are being supported by our committee, and I think that's going to play very well in the future moving forward.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, like community support, and the fact that that the girls can find other girls in chess. I think I've been asked so many times why we think that so few female chess players are. So what are your thoughts on that? So what's the ultimate reason why we don't have that many girls in chess?
Well, I think that things are changing, And there are many more girls than when I was a kid, when I started playing. There was maybe 1 in every 500. Now, if you look at the nationals and if you take that data, it's so much higher. I think it's nearly like in the mid 20s, like 27, like out of 100, maybe 30 of them are almost girls. And I think if you hit 30%, you're almost at your goal. So I think there's actually more girls playing. The thing is, the debate and the discussion, I should say, that we had at that conference in London was about early. Do you separate girls? Do you run tournaments concurrently where they play in open tournaments or just separate? I think you run them concurrently so that they can build friends and stick with them. I mean, most scholastic kids drop off in 5th and 6th grade because homework kicks in. And for girls, usually they drop off even faster because of homework. So the trick is to get them back, how? Peer leadership, matches, team matches, not so much, but just keep them going a little bit so that they can learn the balance of balancing their schoolwork as well as playing. And also giving them the opportunities to travel and do, the fun things with chess, travel, meet other people. And I think doing that and incentives, how hard it is to get over 1,600 and making that a goal, or over 2,000, giving more awards for that, you'll get more and more involved. But I think the numbers are actually, the tables are beginning to turn.
Yeah, we do see that. So let's plug your nonprofit organization, Girls to Grandmasters. Is that correct? How did you come about, and what's your success in raising money for chess and for girls to chess? And can you tell us a little bit about that so that the viewers can learn about your nonprofit?
Well, I would say Girls to Grandmasters was actually founded by my daughter and Nicole Maffeo, who are both competitive chess players. And a couple of years ago, they decided that they wanted to give back to the chess community. And one of the ways to do that was they wanted to keep girls involved in chess because they felt like chess had benefited them in so many ways. And so my daughter asked me to join in on this effort and join this foundation, and Sophia too, based on all of Sophia's connections and experience. And so what we've done so far pretty much is organize more social type events to bring girls together that haven't been quite so competitive.
That's so great.
And all the events have actually taken place at the Chess and Checkers House in Central Park, which is a very perfect venue for it. And they just invite a number of girls, and they have special guest lecturer. And the girls have had a great time. It usually takes place on a Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys my sticker. I have it in my work computer.
Right.
So I know you visited us at one of these. I think in the fall, and you gave me that sticker. Yes. So I love that sticker, and I love the name. I think it's very catchy name. So also wanted to announce that Abel's having problems with his sound, and he apologizes. So he's actually chatting with me on his phone.
Okay.
Relaying the questions, and then he's also plugging the website addresses on the chat and everything. So ask any questions, and he's gonna ask questions, and we're gonna chat. So so I think it's a really good example what your daughter and how you support your daughter and what they are putting out. So I always like to advertise that so that other girls can be empowered to that, and peer showing, mentoring other girls how they should help other girls in chess and through chess and what that. So that sounds wonderful. Sophia, and your organization is the Little House of Chess. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, they're not nonprofit. I was thinking about becoming nonprofit, but haven't ventured there yet. I do. We'll talk about New York State, which is nonprofit, and they have helped us with the New York State Girls, that event. Little House is really a small. When I was part time, I started Little House. Actually, it was called Kids Chess Network, and then it changed into Little House. It really is a base for camps and instruction, quality instruction. And most of our programs are in girls' schools as well as my own school in the after school there. And it really is also an organizing group because we organize tournaments, and it hosts the New York State Girls, and also with the Chess Center of New York. That's my other partner in crime, Steve Emmett. Hopefully you'll have him on your show too.
Yep.
I think he's so much more vital to have. When I first came to the US in '85, I got to work with him at the World Open, and I had no idea that was, I think, over 1,700 players Swiss. And it was a unique experience because there was completely different rules. So at that time, so I had to completely do a 360 in certain rules. And Steve was very caring and helpful to me at that event. And since then, we've worked on numerous events. So that is like nearly 35 years, 36 years. So he's my other, as I said, partner in crime. And he was actually born in the Bay Area. I bet you didn't know that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Know that. And his family were teachers in San Francisco. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah,
we should definitely have him on the show. So I think somewhere around end of September, we have scheduled planned out. We are getting a little bit better with scheduling guests, and so, but yeah, definitely I'll reach out to him and have him on the show. I mean, he's been such a vital person for US Chess and the volunteers and the events, and his knowledge of rules and organizing is amazing. So yeah, definitely.
He'd probably be very happy too if he was allowed to have Boo Boo and Biscuit as his sidekicks.
Well, Boo Boo and Biscuit, I think, are sleeping right now, although maybe one of them will be awake soon. I don't think they're ready to go on the show. They need some haircuts. So
aren't we all? I think during pandemic, it's not an excuse.
Yeah, I guess so. But
Abel got to sneak out.
Yeah, Abel did. He's a leader, right? He goes to the barbershop. That's not good. Anyway, so
I have his number.
Well, the other events recently that I'm hoping, being on the clubs committee, I really feel that clubs can really function with Zoom and thrive that way, doing events so people can watch delayed video or hang out together, play in a tournament. I actually did one for Steve Emmett's birthday where we had a tournament and a Zoom, and it was similar to what you're doing. And we're not up to Twitch yet, but maybe we'll get there. But and I think last year, especially when you were doing your feeds from the Mechanics Institute, I would tune in, and those were so much fun when you would have tournaments and live commentary. And that was very, very cool. It wasn't like a big event. It was just a club event, and it really had that nice social feel. And I think that is so important. And I hope other clubs can, with the clubs committee and others, assist them of like knowing how to do it. Do some webinars. This is what you could do. Don't be afraid. It's lots of fun. And I think you actually get young people to help out with the technology and that might be some good stuff where you have older members working with those younger fellows or, everybody and working that technology.
Yeah, and thanks for the plug. That's the Tuesday night marathon that we used to have in the club, and we actually transitioned to an online now, and we do have the live coverage. And just like 2 weeks ago, we started having our club players after they finished their games, they would join in our Zoom meetings. So we're really trying to mimic the experience that they used to have on board, and now we. Sorry, my cat. Like, so that's what we are trying to do. But yeah, I mean, it was so inspiring what you organized for Steve for his birthday, and so many friends joined that birthday Zoom and the tournament from all over the US, and that gave me an idea that it's so easy to
Yeah, it is.
announce a Zoom meeting and have people join the community and just be together and chat and connect. And I think now that the kind of the overwhelming part is over, for that everyone had to learn how the new ways, the pandemic, but let's use it to the advantage, right? Yes, we cannot go back yet. There are so many obstacles, but at the same time, we should use this, because I mean, how great it was to see everyone at the delegates meeting, right? I bet the attendance was a little bit higher actually because of that. So,
actually, it was. There were people that I haven't seen in a long time.
exactly.
So maybe that's one way that we can, you always learn new things, and hopefully we can take the things that we've learned from that that emergency meeting, that special meeting, and more people can participate, and I think that would be good. So, and I know everyone was sort of communicating with Slack and using different other ways. That was fun to read that stuff, but I think it's all healthy, very transparent. It's okay. So Abel's laughing, but yeah, it's okay. It's good.
I thought it was good. We adapted. They adapted to the circumstances.
Yeah, and my other point was to the some of the EVs and Carol, that I mean, let's use this opportunity, because nature forced us to have this emergency online way of connecting. But even if we go back to over the board, let's keep this channel, because this allowed so many of the delegates to join when they didn't have, some might not have the means financially, time-wise. They couldn't take off work, and they couldn't take off the time from work or time for childcare issues and things like that. There's so many obstacles that delegates might not be able to solve, but they are a crucial part of US Chess. So I kind of hope that even if we go back to in-person meeting next year, we can keep some of the elements of these online to bring in from outside. So yeah.
Yeah, we can fine tune it and figure out to make it sort of so people that do want to go, that might not be able to go, can still be there and participate, because they have a lot of knowledge to share, and so that's kind of important.
Yeah. The other question or let's plug you a little bit, Sophia, if you don't mind. But there's a new committee forming that will help US Chess suggest nominees for the executive board, right? And you're in the candidate list, right?
Yeah, in fact, I had a few people. I wasn't. I was stunned when I got nominated by many people. I was actually quite honored, and I went to those town hall meetings, which I thought were one of the best things that came out of the special meetings, and hopefully that those will happen 100%, and more members can see those, and and see US Chess in action, and delegates, and listen and observe of how things work and how they're improving communication and dialogue. That committee is to look for people that want to, when the executive board might need someone to replace other members. And because when you're on the executive board, it is almost a full-time job. I don't think people, I mean, being on the committees, Judith, especially you, is like a full-time job. And you were on a task force that did a lot of work, Chapter 10 for the online rules.
Yep.
But, being on the executive board is a big commitment. And, the Federation is a big body, has lots of hopes and dreams, and things are going well. But, in times of crisis, you really need people that have had that experience. So,
and I feel it's both ways. Like the nominating committee's job will be to inform the candidates that it's huge work, know what you're getting yourself into, but at the same time, understanding the Federation, the need, what kind of talents they need on the executive board, right? What kind of specialties and diversity and let's talk a little bit about diversity, because currently we don't have any females on the board. Which I think that's why I'm really openly supporting you being on the committee, because I know you're going to be pushing to find a female executive board candidate. So
I hope so.
And can you tell us a little bit about your diversity views on what would be important? What's the goals of identifying and how you will approach bringing in more of the diversity?
Well, I'll look in New York. There are many people here, but I'll also look outside New York. There are many people that are getting involved in grassroots, and there are some people that maybe decided not to run or dropped out that maybe one day would want to be on the executive board, and hopefully we can convince them to come back. And it's going to be hard. I don't think it's going to be easy in the beginning to find, I think it's only 2 years. I don't know, if there will be too much changeover in that 2 years, but at least we can start looking now and plant some seeds and really, form within the group. I haven't got on yet, but if I do, actually making that list, what would make a good executive board member, and, seeking to have that diversity. Across the board. We've only had a few women on that executive board, but you also need a young person on that board too. And
So Kimberly, you seem to be staying away from these chess politics a little bit. How do you cope with these topics, and what are the other areas in chess that you find to help you coping with this?
I actually find it very interesting, the chess politics. I typically shy away from conflict, but I find it interesting, probably most in the sense that generally everybody has the same goal of trying to do the best. Everybody has, these great goals, but they just have different ways about getting there.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of a latecomer, so a lot of times I'm not aware of some of the politics going on, but I get filled in occasionally. I'm just trying to stay kind of out of the fray, because what I am trying to do, promoting girls and women playing chess, and then I'm also on the development committee. I can still achieve those.
I'm not on that committee.
Well, I can say, these are two things that unfortunately, both committees are pretty much on hiatus right now. But I think that I think I would just do more good by kind of staying out of the fray, if you will.
Tell us a little bit about the development committee. I know it's chaired by John Rockefeller.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I know Sophia's son Danny is on that committee, and you're on that committee, and who are the other members, and what are you guys focusing on?
All of a sudden, I'm completely blanked. Jay Stallings is on the committee. Schulman.
Mm-hmm.
Schumann.
Yeah, Schumann. I'm trying to think. All of a sudden, completely. Maureen Grimaud is on the committee.
Okay. And Maureen was, or I don't know if she still is, or probably was the chair of the women's committee. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. No, not any. No, she stepped down from that. and I apologize. I want to stop there before I.
Yeah, that's fine. No,
right.
I put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
Right. No, and I should know off the top of my head. We recently have some meetings, but it's a little bit of a difficult time to do fundraising given the pandemic.
Yeah.
But Danny, Sophia's son, has a lot of great ideas, and they have subcommittees that we hope will kind of get back to work full force once the pandemic is over. Because I think that we need to find some benefactors that will support U.S. chess and not just financially, but also promote chess. And I think the development committee is very, very important, in doing that.
Yeah, and just the fact that we have a development committee, I think that was a really good sign that U.S. chess is moving on and changing and adapting to challenges, right? And know what we have to do, right? And becoming the 501(c)(3) nonprofit organization, that's also was a really good step that the previous EB did that. So yeah.
Right. Jeff Isaac, who is hired by U.S. Chess to head it up to head up the development as far as fundraising, has been really good about trying to spearhead efforts. But as I said, it's a little bit of a difficult time.
Yeah, and it's also like development is also very non-visible. I feel that a lot of work goes into that's not visible. So it's very easy to criticize because a lot of work goes on behind the scenes, and it's not very awesome.
But I do think that some of the committees are moving more into task force. And that means having, a norm for that year and really understanding that. And last year especially, they really did a shift with the executive board where they moved people off committees just to get fresh faces if you'd been on there too long, or, and that's all healthy, I think.
And it was proven that the task force worked, right? Because some of the committees were tasked certain things like the accessibility. We developed a handbook, right? Guidelines. The clubs committee, we developed their handbook, right? And I know so I think task force are working so much better because a certain project, a certain timeline, and people who are dedicated with passion, they can drive that. And it's just so much easier than a committee just by itself, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think it gets a lot more work done.
I'm very passionate about these type of projects that have start and end time and very visible. So when they invited me to the online play, they said, okay, we start late May, and we will be done by early July. And it felt good because we had a task on hand, we met, we worked on it, but we knew that it's not going to be a 2-year project, right? It has a fixed end. So I think it's a way to go to be a little bit more productive. So
yeah, and I think that you realize that you might only get 1 or 2 things done, and that you really know what you want to get done, and you prioritize that. And so I think that's kind of important. So did you want to ask me about any old events I had done, or no,
I think
back in the day?
It's time to wrap up soon because we started a little bit late, and we had that little voice restart and everything, but we usually keep it around 30, 35, 40 minutes. So
okay, good to know.
Let's wrap up with what's your plan for the near future? Do you have any special online events coming up or any parties to go to?
The social part is really healthy, especially on Zoom. Well, first of all, getting the New York State girls hopefully online. And then there's also the Greater New York, the Kasparov Foundation Greater New York, which I think it's going to be its 55th, figuring out how to make that event still happen. And that will be, Super Bowl weekend, or usually, yeah. So the planning that goes into those events. And I have something else called the Magnus League, which is would be its 8th season. That's a high school
league, right?
Yeah. And yeah, I know. And you know, I last 2 years ago, I was able to get DGTs, and I learned how to set them up, work them. I feel good IA because I know how to work DGTs, and connecting those to the web and having live games. And we were hoping before the pandemic to have a Twitch happening at the same time. So maybe we can get that to still happen this time on the 8th Magnus League. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, and that league is really for 7th grade and up. And we made it FIDE rated, which was, yeah. So we had the top section FIDE rated, and there were 2 other sections, and a team could be divided up in the different sections. So that's actually kind of one of my favorite events. I could go on for hours on events that I want to do, or, you know, I'm still trying to, we have an event that that would have been coming up in September. It's called the park hosted by Chess in the Schools in Central Park.
Yes.
And they usually get over 1,000 people showing up.
That's an amazing event.
Yeah, and I'm really going to miss that event this year because I think I spent my whole summer in Central Park and walked past where they usually have it. And so that's going to be a bit of a loss. I was hoping that event could somehow go online too, but I'm not sure. Because that's
it would have been the 20th this year too.
Yeah, but it will be back for sure. It will be, you know, and as I said, and I'll say it again, New York is not dead. It is alive and kicking.
Yeah,
you know,
they're going to come back full force.
People on the street.
I mean, yeah. So as Seinfeld said, we're alive and kicking. So like, but I think it's actually a very exciting time for chess, because we are in the limelight and being online all the time. And some of the great stuff that's being done, especially by, where was I going to go with this? I've boo-booed. I was thinking of a great Twitch person, and his name has gone out of my Nakamura. I have to really say that I've watched some of his Twitch, and I'm not, you know, I'm pretty old now, so I'm almost out of the Twitch generation, but I really actually listen to his stuff, and it's really great.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool how he's brought 2 communities together. Yeah. And
he did an amazing job of popularizing chess, and I listen to his shows, his Twitch check-ins a lot, and it's good, and he's spreading the good message. He's not getting into the, you know, trash talking or bullying. I love how he just, above all these trash talks and just spreading a really good example for.
Yeah, he's been a great chess ambassador.
Yeah,
online.
Very great. And he yesterday got the news that one of the esports made him a pro chess, a professional player or professional sports athlete. So we are very excited about that, because it's all the benefit for chess. So thank you so much, girls, for joining us. It was
have us on anytime, and if you want to have Steve, that would be kind of fun, especially if we're not in the same room. That will get fun.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
thank
you guys.
Thank you.
John, come out and visit us after the pandemic is over, because I'm just so anxious to open the doors.
I get to go to New York City is a good.
Yes.
I wanted to go to the park. Last time I saw it was in New York City. I said, okay, next time I'm coming in September, because I want to check that out, that event out. But,
it's a fabulous event, because it's, you know, it's competitive, but yet there's an air of fun to it. It's a free tournament.
Yeah, it's a good kickstart at the beginning of the season, and it gets everybody ready for what's lying ahead. And it's like,
I was always jealous of, like, I was always thinking, how can we make this happen in the West Coast? You guys are
you have a park near you. You have a park. I've been in that park. You can make it happen. I've seen. I could do it.
Golden Gate Park.
You can. We fly here and we'll make it happen. Anyway,
we'll go to Golden Gate Park. We'll make it happen in Golden Gate Park.
There's some beautiful sites there. You can make it easily happen. You'd have a lot of fun, but just not in August. It's cold. It's cold. All right. Okay.
Thank you again.
Thanks
Come
for
out and
having
visit
us.
Guys, have a good evening. And everyone, tonight is Friday Night Blitz, free Blitz tonight. And we have a big weekend coming up. So if you have a chance, please join us. We have the Summer Chess Festival going on this weekend. We have a 2-day event, manually paired gaming 60+10 online event for 6 rounds, 3 rounds on Saturday, 3 rounds on Sunday. We also have a Blitz Saturday evening and the Fisher Random on Sunday evening. And the Scholastic Side event is on Sunday afternoon, which we already have like 40 kids sign up. So go online, sign up for the chess festival. This is our way of getting you ready for the Labor Day relaxation and everything.
Yeah,
And
pre-Labor Day.
Pre-Labor Day tournament. Yeah, we didn't feel like competing with CCA.
CCA? Okay, well, New York State is coming up. I don't know how many events are there, but that's Labor Day weekend.
Anyway, so come join us. Go to chessclub.org and sign up for the chess festival. And see you guys there this weekend.
Bye.
Thank you again. Bye.
Bye.